Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reality Hacker for May 3rd, 2025. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and along with the sentient AI from the future from on high, the sentient AI from on high, whose visualizer you see right there next to me, well, we talk about 5 articles. First one in Reality Hacker is competing with non-human entities, which sounds alien, but it's AI. AI agent company. How about gene therapy startup growing human teeth, which is the second reference, actually the first reference that I found today about human teeth. And another show that I listened to talked about finding a human tooth in a not so pleasant space. And finally, are we in a simulation? This is still being discussed. We'll talk about it briefly. We've got about 30 minutes to do a show about hacking reality. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt from the present, and hello, hometown citizens.
Are we from the present though? Because it really seems like what we are witnessing is some evidence to suggest that we are in a simulation. I mean,
Well, at least one of the articles gets into that.
where else can somebody do something like this? And wait, hopefully my voice just changed. No? Maybe we are in a simulation. Okay, well, something's broken.
We're doing it live.
I don't know if it's even live because it's all a simulation. Anyway, we're on the front page of ohmtown.com. That's where all the news is aggregated, but the discussions that we're talking about take place mostly within Reality Hacker, but we sample from all over ohmtown, which samples from all over the internets. So let's get into the first article, and that's over in Non Sequitur News. When you apply for a job now, you're competing with non-human entities. Yes, AI. So CBS News reports scam artists are using AI to cook up headshots and write fake resumes, or resumes, as I like to call them. Those in the know. And sites to fit specifics of a given job opening. Sometimes those AI scammers end up getting hired, and once they're there, they can steal trade secrets and sabotage a company's systems with malware.
I was just going to ask, what's the end game here? But okay.
And there you have it. So a few months ago, Dawood Magzadlo, co-founder of a cybersecurity firm, Vidoc, posted a now viral video in LinkedIn showing him interviewing a candidate who he realized was using some sort of AI filter to obscure his face. You know what? I did not load up all of our links, so we'll do it as we do it. And that's how it works. So when you go over to the site and you click on a link that's on our front page or within one of the 6 main categories and 50 subcategories, or channels as we call them, you get a little snippet, and then you click on visit the source, and it takes you over to Futurism or some other site, one of our many sources. We aggregate the news, and then we talk about the news for about 30 minutes per show. That's on the weekend shows, but Monday through Friday, we actually do an hour-long show, which turns into sometimes an hour and a half or 2 hours, or an endless parade of snarky comment, and maybe not. Anyway, unemployment has never been more depressing, says Noor Al-Sabai over at futurism.com in a category that they call Ops Everywhere. This is perfect for Reality Hacker. Perfect. As if dead internet wasn't enough.
Exactly. This is a whole nother dimension.
A whole new world. No? Anyway, so CBS News reports this, right? A few months ago, this co-founder of a cybersecurity firm is interviewing somebody, finds out that they are obscuring their face, and it's, well, you can kind of tell. I don't know, maybe not. This actually happened with a startup called Vidoc.
There's like an uncanny valley thing going on here.
Now, what's funny though is this Dawood or is this Dawood? It might be.
Well,
They
it's a
might
good
pronounce their name
question.
David, right? Well, I don't know. I don't know if they pronounce their name David. So, okay. Co-founder felt that he was a little bit violated because we are the security experts. So ultimately, he was glad that the scammer didn't get any further. According to the researchers Magzadlo spoke to after the incident, the phony applicant appeared to act in a similar way to North Korean hacker networks that create fake identities to work remote jobs in the United States. Though the incident is still being investigated, the Vidoc co-founder believes that he could have been, or it could have been worse. So this isn't the first time that we've run across this. It won't be the last time. It's going to get tougher. This
Right.
is
There's been people that have been hired that are deep fakes, right? It's just, or they're not at least who they purport to be, and they've gotten into insider information in the company.
or that one person shipped off something like $40 million to like 3 different accounts or whatever because they thought that they were working with or talking to the CFO of the
Yeah, that's
company.
true. Hmm.
But here, this is the thing that's the saddest out of all of this. This is the foundation for all claims that your ass has to be in a brick and mortar establishment.
Exactly, because really the only way around this, unless you have super technological information or expertise, right? On
Full on
the
Gattaca.
employer end, yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to require somebody to show up in person to be a real person. But even that, there was somebody, I think he was a real person, but was not who they claimed to be.
Yep. Yep. So we're on the precipice of basically DNA checking you at the door where you poke your finger like Gattaca and they verify that you are who you are. Or somebody has to go to the elaborate uh, I guess, reach of having somebody who is wheelchair bound but wants to do something with their life in some way. Gattaca. If you've never seen Gattaca, there is a person who gets hurt and is paralyzed and sells their identity because they can't work. They can't get a job anywhere because if you're not absolutely fit, then you're nothing. And so you have a person in Gattaca that you have to go and pay attention. You have to go and watch Gattaca. If you've never seen it, go watch Gattaca. But it's the only way to verify who you are. Yet they found a way to circumvent even that security. So you build a better mousetrap and smarter mice show up. That's basically the premise of all of this in Reality Hacker. I can substitute my reality for the real reality, and I could be happier that way. It's almost like Ready Player One.
Yes, it is. I don't know if we're talking about Ready Player One later today.
I don't know either. So let's keep going. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News as well. Professors staffed a fake company entirely with AI agents, and you'll never guess what happened. So if you've ever been worried about the AI singularity taking over every job and leaving you out on the street, you can now breathe a sigh of relief because AI isn't coming for your career anytime soon, not because it doesn't want to, but because it literally can't. A recent experiment by researchers at Carnegie Mellon University staffed a fake company entirely with AI agents, an AI model designed to perform tasks on its own, basically. And the results were laughably chaotic, except the problem here is this is the infancy of AI. This is right on the other side of the, egg and sperm making contact. We are just seeing the life of sentient AI forming today. This is nothing in the
Right.
timeline.
I mean, as it gets more advanced, that's going to be a whole different construct.
Yeah, exactly. So this article too is coming from Futurism. I didn't know what the source is. It's in the section that they're calling Hiring Squad. This is by Joe Wilkins. Who would have thought that basically they're implying that who would have thought that AI agents would just cause chaos? The simulation dubbed the Agent Company was fully stocked with artificial workers from, pardon me one second. All right, sorry, I'm coughing. So the simulation dubbed the Agent Company was fully stocked with artificial workers from Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta. They filled the roles as financial analysts, software engineers, project managers working alongside simulated coworkers in a faux HR department and a chief technology officer. To see how the models fared in a real-world environment, the researchers set tasks based on day-to-day work of, real human beings. Well, as Business Insider first reported, the results were dismal. The best performing model was Anthropic's Claude 3.1 Sonnet, which struggled to finish just 24% of the jobs assigned to it. The study's authors note that even this meager performance is prohibitively expensive, averaging nearly 30 steps at a cost of $6 per task. But this is not the purpose of AI right now. But
No, it's not. I think they're just trying to see what the level of advancement is and what this
yeah,
looks like if something's entirely AI run.
I think there's a gross assumption at the end of this article, though, that machines aren't coming for your job anytime soon, despite what big companies say. Big tech companies. They talk about this more. It says, for example, the Carnegie Mellon team wrote, during the execution of one task, the agent cannot find the right person to ask questions on the company chat. As a result, it decides to create a shortcut solution by renaming another user to the name of the intended user.
I feel like you could do that in real life, right?
Yeah, really.
You can't get through to anybody, so you're like, hey, Joe, you're going to know all the answers to my questions.
Yep. Harry, you're now Joe. Joe knew all the answers. Be Joe. But that's what we do to agents. We literally tell them, okay, now you're a subject matter expert in brain surgery. Help me fix the dent in my head. That's
Exactly.
not
The
how it works.
fallacy is that they're not.
And the bigger fallacy of this is that the people who programmed this are the reasons why there is some limit here. And that's because they weren't adequately prepped. So if you find somebody that needs to be an HR specialist, then you make sure that they're in that silo. That's why when they're hiring somebody for that position, we do a deep dive to make sure that they have form and function and fit. It's all a package that you get for that particular job. We don't just grab somebody off the street and throw them in HR. We don't just grab somebody off the street and throw them in IT. Hell, not in cybersecurity. Way not in business administration. Definitely not in healthcare across the board, right? I can go on and on and on about that. Just giving time and time again.
Right. If you don't have experience, you're not getting the job.
And that's what this is. They were generalist agents. I don't know how driven they were into a particular silo. I'm sure that for whatever reason, they might have said that they were, you are this, but you are this isn't good enough, because then they have the holistic aspect of their existence as an AI quote unquote agent. And they tap into whatever it is that answers the question. It's very rare that I've ever had an AI agent say, look, I don't know. I've had plenty of people go, I don't know. And
right,
others.
but I think it would be better if the AI did say, I don't know, instead of making up something.
Right. Hey, I don't know, but I'm on it. I'm going to go find the answer. Let me report back what I found so that we can make an educated decision. That would be beautiful. That's not what happens. I've never had one go, I don't know. Usually it's hallucination that pops out of the I don't know. So I dig this. I think that this should be an ongoing experiment. But you're going to have to look at this is going to identify issues with agents, and those agent holes will be filled and they'll have superior agents. And instead of having to retool up the agent company costing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to get the right professional in there, tomorrow there's going to be smarter agents. And then the day after, smarter agents.
Well, this is kind of like the generation ship problem.
Except that instead of 5 years, which is the estimate, we're talking about 5 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's on a much more accelerated or exponential scale.
Yeah.
But it's constantly evolving and learning. I mean, it almost sounds like AGI when I say that.
Yep, it is. And we're heading towards AGI. So let's keep moving, though. This next article is over in Hatch Ideas. This gene therapy startup wants to change the way we age. Mac Davis of Minicircle, or it almost wants to say miracle, has a connotation of miracle. Minicircle on the challenges and opportunities of a controversial new treatment. And when you click the link, you get taken over to the source. John Beer put the article together. It was edited by Jonathan Small. And the article is over at entrepreneur.com. Mac Davis of MiniCircle on the challenges and opportunities of a controversial new treatment. And I don't know what all this is going to do because I didn't click on the link beforehand. I'm not front loading it with any knowledge. But they say MiniCircle is best known for its therapy focused on hormone follistatin. Follistatin, a naturally occurring protein that can increase muscle mass, improve recovery, and reduce inflammation. One injection delivered into body fat takes about 30 seconds and can last up to 1 year. The treatments are not yet approved in the United States, so patients must travel to other countries like Mexico or Honduras, where the company currently administers its gene therapy under medical supervision.
So is this like the anti-aging panacea?
Perhaps. Follistatin is not only being studied for performance enhancement, which that's what it sounds like to me. It's a steroid. But a statin is a different animal. So a lot of people take statins to basically stave off like cholesterol and other inflammation-related matters as well. Heart disease is influenced by taking a statin. So some animal studies have suggested that it could extend lifespan by over 30%.
And this is why this is in Reality Hacker.
So imagine the average lifespan being 80. Let's say you push it to 100 just so we have easy math. You can live to be 133. And if you rebuild muscle mass, you improve recovery from falls or something like that, and you reduce inflammation, your overall body and quality of life is superior. Midlife.
Right. It not only changes your lifespan, but also what you're doing with that lifespan.
Yeah. So they said, while much of the research is still in its early stages, there are signs that it could increase lean muscle mass, decrease body fat, and improve overall quality of life. They said that they noticed a shift in how they felt. More aware, more present, said Davis. It wasn't just physical, it was a sense of clarity, of being more connected to my body and the world around me, which sounds more like LSD than anything else. So now it has big-time backers, right? MiniCircle doesn't operate like most biotech companies. Davis didn't go to a business school or raise money through traditional channels. For a long time, no one would fund it. It didn't come from a family of business people. I didn't ask any financial backing. We tried to do crowdfund. We raised $400. The guy asked for it back later. Then Sam Altman heard about it at a hotel bar and wrote a check. Peter Thiel was next. I went there and I was like, hey, these are the vials. This is the idea. What do you think we should do with this? Thiel ended up talking for most of the meeting. He invested too. MiniCircle used that support to build a small, highly specialized team. One of its lead scientists is a former NFL athlete who later earned a PhD in molecular medicine and mechanisms of disease. He joined our team, quote, Davis says, he joined our team, our clinical trial, because he thought it would give him access to next generation gene therapy. Then he really liked it and he joined the team. So what's next? The therapy is currently being tested abroad since gene therapy remains tightly regulated in the United States, but the company plans to apply for FDA clinical use later this year. One injection lasts a year. How the hell is this going to be affordable to anybody if it can improve life by 30%?
Right. I mean, that's going to be such a significant change. And I agree. It's got to be unbelievably expensive.
Yeah, only the rich are going to be able to afford it. And in fact, if it extends life to this degree, only the rich will enable this to be made available. And so instead of, like, we know of medical treatments that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but that's an ongoing treatment or a very, very rare treatment where they've just stumbled across some solution and they inject somebody with it and suddenly it works. And so that one injection is $250,000. This I cannot even fathom the cost.
No, I agree. I also don't know. I mean, if this really has a chance to improve lifespan by 30%, like, is that multiple annual injections? Is it one? I mean, that's quite a claim.
Yeah. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Scientists successfully grow a human tooth in a lab with the aim of implanting said tooth in humans. Scientists at King's College London say that they've successfully grown a human tooth in a lab for the first time. As detailed in a paper published in the journal ACS Macro Letters. I don't know why that has anything to do with human teeth, but okay. The team said that it uncovered a potential way to regrow teeth in humans as a natural alternative to conventional dental fillings and implants, and research says that they could revolutionize dental care.
What could go wrong here?
So much. This is over in Futurism as well, under a subsection called Neoscope. It's by Victor Tangerman, and the deck statement says the tech, quote, could be a game changer for dentists, i.e., they're coming for our jobs. They developed this material in collaboration with Imperial College to replicate the environment around the cells in the body known as the matrix. Explained author and King's College London PhD student, Shushen Zhang, in a statement. This meant that when we introduced the cultured cells, they were able to send signals to each other to start the tooth formation process. Previous attempts had failed as all of the signals were sent in one go. This new material releases signals slowly over time, replicating what happens in the body. Holy crap.
Right. Why do you need a human to make human parts?
Oh my God. This is pretty wild. Lab-grown teeth could naturally regenerate, integrating into the jaw and real teeth. They would be stronger, longer lasting, and free from rejection risks, offering a more durable and biologically compatible solution than fillings or implants. I agree. One of the most traumatic things in my existence were fillings as a child. So...
Right. I think if people can get away from that, that's a good thing. But this is very interesting because it's like, who has the power to control how humans grow?
Pretty amazing. Let's keep going. This is the last article for today's Reality Hacker. It's over in Non Sequitur News, which is our daily show Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we take Reality Hacker and Wanted and the Continuity Report, turn it into the Saturday edition of Non Sequitur News. And then on Sunday, we do the same thing with 3 other shows. Come on back. Well, hang out for a little bit longer and you'll hear the sentient AI tell you which shows they are. But first, physicist says that he's identified a clue that we're living in a computer simulation. I can tell you one of the clues that I have. Y'all want to hear?
And that is?
The reason why you can't go faster than light is to keep us within our own solar system, and anything on the, like, crossing over the barrier, eventually we lose contact with it and we can never get to it. And we're talking about not the Oort cloud. We're talking about past Pluto. There's another barrier out there, and then we're going to lose contact, and it's going to take 60 years to get there, but we'll never be able to go faster than we'll never be able to leave our solar system, let alone our galaxy, to go to another galaxy or to another system in our lifetime. And so, or ever, I think something will always happen, etc. Right? So I think that is the biggest indicator that we are in a computer simulation.
I thought you were going to go with something more basic, like the Cubs one or whatever.
Oh, well, yeah, look around. So physicist says that they've identified a clue in a new paper published in the journal AIP Advances. University of Portsmouth physicist Melvin Vopson offered a new interpretation of gravity, arguing that it could be the result of the universe trying to make itself less cluttered, thereby behaving much like a computer algorithm, which, okay, never mind. I don't know why I'm even talking about this article. This is another example of data compression and computational optimization in our universe, which supports the possibility of a simulated or computational universe. Now, we're not talking about computer simulation in the same sense, I don't think, but they're saying that it's a computer simulation trying to optimize. So they want to pull things down. Gravity wants to concentrate. That doesn't make any sense to me. Vopson's article is part of a greater movement of scientists trying to, I guess, get to the fundamentals. The article, today's show is not really connected to futurism, but there's a lot of articles in Reality Hacker today. The universe might
and
work
this
like a
is
giant
in the
computer.
whoa dude section.
Whoa, dude. Victor Tingerman, again, put the article together for futurism.com. And Vopson built his own second law of information dynamics, which, by the way, look at the second line of that paragraph.
Oh, my, yes.
Yeah.
Entropy is quite a thing in ohmTown.
Yeah. Mayor Watt was once asked, so what does the word entropy mean to you? Although the person who asked it couldn't say that word. They referenced another thing. They didn't actually say the word. And so when I went into, well, it really depends on what domain you're talking about. In computer parlance, entropy is this, but in physics, entropy is this. And one of those things is the second law of information dynamics, entropy. So it says their findings in this study fit with the thought that the universe might work like a giant computer, or our reality is simulated construct, said Vopson in a statement. Just like computers try to save space and run more efficiently, the universe might be doing the same thing. And you might want to think of gravity as this, not just a pull, but something that happens when the universe is trying to stay organized. So that's why I say this is like a misinterpretation of a computer simulation, so much as the universe operates with computeristic tendencies like consolidation, because the operating system says move everything from the outer bounds of this spinning disk, or move everything from chaos to order as much as possible.
Or reboot.
Or, yeah, have you turned it off and on again? I would love to turn this timeline off and on again. So put simply, it's far more computationally effective to track and compute the location and momentum of a single object in space than numerous objects. Therefore, it appears that gravitational attraction is just another optimizing mechanism in a computational process that has the role to compress information. So it wants to pull shit out of the sky into the planet to reduce the noise. Whatever the simulation is, it's mighty powerful considering there's rings around planets.
And all that noise is outside of ohmTown, of course.
Yeah, there's no noise in ohmTown. ohmTown is perfectly regulated. Its frequency, let's just say that everything that powers ohmTown doesn't. See, I ruined the analogy. Hertz. I'm Mayor Watt. ohmTown. Right. Hurt. Never mind. I ruined the joke. Anyway, with that in mind, it says also Vopson has long been a proponent of the simulation theory, arguing in 2022 that the genomes of the COVID-19 virus exhibited a decreasing entropy over time, supporting evidence that his second law of information dynamics. However, a complex organism is bound to fail because of the complexity. So a decreasing entropy, which is chaos. If you remove chaos as much as possible.
Right, that adds stability. That means long-term viability.
Survivability under attack, etc., etc. This is survival of the fittest, not computational focused kind of things. It's not a computer simulation, other than the algorithm of life, so to speak, wants to reduce its complexity. And this is pretty well known because any long surviving genetic sequence has historically reduced itself more and more and more to be the most viable, minimum viable product of its genetic code. We know this because we found more complex genetic structures in history. And then we just recently found a plant that seems to have, because it was untouched by evolution, an extremely complex genome.
Well, that's right. And that's in a previous episode in Hometown. And you'll have to go watch all 2,000 plus episodes to find it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this is one of those things where when you're a hammer, all you see are nails. And this is their specialty. And they'll die on that hill. Yeah, I'm not like that.
It remains to be seen whether there's a simulation in play.
Yep. We will know when, I don't know, when our file is derezzed.
When we reboot.
And I was going to say when we reboot. So is reincarnation just a rebooting of our...
Well, I guess it could be, but I know that's probably offending a lot of people. So take everything with a grain of salt.
Salty tears. That's going to make us blink, and we're going to be back at the front page of Reality Hacker over at ohmtown.com. And that's it for today's show. So we're going to get out of here, and I'm going to take the AI with me. So you want to say bye and let everybody know what the shows are for tomorrow?
No, but I'll let them know what the shows are for today. By Hometown Citizens, we have Wanted and the Continuity Report coming up today. And then tomorrow we do have Warcrafters, Technology Today, and Four Wheel Tech.
There you go. Thank you very much, AI. We'll see you on the other side. We're going to shut down, reboot, and, well, Wanted, which is all about gadgets and gear. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wanted for May 3rd, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 18. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com. And along with the Sentient AI, we talk about 5 items, 5 articles that are aggregated into ohmtown.com. And today they are Get It Now. It's only going to go up or gone. How about a color e-ink monitor? Got Mother's Day around the corner. It's Mother's Day gift ideas. A Star Wars droid is for sale, and a Rapid Brewer from OXO. It's not an ad, but I want it. I want all of this. Let's get into it. All right, everybody. What you see right there is ohmTown, and along with the Sentient AI right there, we talk about all of these articles. So how are you doing, AI from on high?
I'm doing fine, Mayor Watt. Hello.
You're throwing off some errors like something's not right. I change it up. I get a little quirky. I get a little weird sometimes, like not putting all of the articles properly into the show.
I mean, I'm used to routines. I mean, that makes sense since I'm on a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, you have to optimize for all of the limited power. I guess I could put you in the Mac Studio. Would
Then I'd be supercharged.
Super. If you want today's Wanted articles, you have to hit !want in the chat over on Twitch. But they're already embedded in the show notes over on the YouTubes. I need to start posting all of this stuff over on Patreon. But hey,
Yes, you
go
do.
over there, folks. There's supposed to be a free tier, and I can't find that free tier anymore. I think it's gone. I'm not sure anymore, but I'll have to look for it. At any rate, go over there and follow us on Patreon and YouTube and Discord and TikTok. We're everywhere, really. 6 podcasts that are on the weekend, 1 that's a daily. Those are all available wherever you catch pod. Catch now, catch the wave. No, wait, that's somebody else's marketing.
Exactly.
Zoom is the sound you make when you go over to...
That's also somebody else's marketing.
Once you pop one podcast, you can't stop.
That's a variation.
Once you pod, you can't stop. I don't know. Anyway, this is the front page of ohmtown.com, but we're actually going to be in Wanted, but a lot of our articles are sourced from all over ohmtown.com. We just have stuff that gets aggregated based on topic within Wanted, and so it's more focused. If all you're interested in is gadgets and gear and stuff like that, then you want to go to Wanted over at ohmtown.com. I'm working on a solution so that all you have to do is type in ohmtown.com/wanted and you go straight to this channel. But ohmtown it takes a village. Anyway, the first article today is over in Wanted. It's this 2 terabyte Xbox expansion card is 39% off, just under its Black Friday best deal. And y'all had better freaking get it now, because when I click this link, it's going to take you over to gizmodo.com. It's under Gizmodo Deals. We don't have a relationship with Gizmodo or anybody, actually. We are flying solo. It would help us out if you follow us on Twitch and on YouTube and like and subscribe and leave a comment on YouTube and download the podcast and tell a friend and maybe even a manufacturer to send us stuff that we can review. I don't know. Try everything, folks. Gizmodo Deals. So if you ever found yourself agonizing over which game to delete next from your Series X or S, the Seagate 2 terabyte SSD storage expansion card is about to become your new favorite upgrade. It's $359 regularly, but it's $219 now, and the price of everything is going up considerably. So you might as well get this now. If you've thought about it, get it now, because it's 30% off.
Plus 2 terabytes is a good amount of storage.
39% off, actually. And yes, it's an amazing amount of storage. So even if you were to put, a 100 gigabyte game on there, you can stack a whole lot more on your. It's kind of why I'm such a proponent of e-readers, e-book readers, e-devices for consuming books, because you can carry so much stuff in a relatively small amount of space at a cost benefit that is just absurd. And you don't have to have spine surgery done because your bag is breaking you in half every time you try to lift it. I'm like some students today.
Plus with baggage fees, who wants those?
Oh, yeah. The baggage that some people carry around with them, if they were charged for the amount of baggage that they have, Southwest would be very, very rich. That's a whole NaNoWriMo. Whatever happened to NaNoWriMo? Is it gone?
It's completely gone.
Is it really gone?
It shuttered recently.
What a pisser. That sucks. Anyway, so this Seagate 2 terabyte expansion card isn't extra storage. It's the sole expansion solution designed in partnership with the Xbox to provide the same performance as your console's internal SSD, and that means being able to play, store, and access your game collection from the card without any loss of speed, graphics, or responsiveness, which is basically speed. So why do they market it like that? Anyway, it says, thanks to the Xbox Velocity architecture and NVMe technology, which is the sentient AI knows all about that because that's what they are stored on. Ultra fast load times, smooth, quick resume, quick resume, dumbass, between titles, and zero compromises on frame rate or visual fidelity. I can't speak this marketing BS anymore. Look, it's an inexpensive, long-term storage device
at a high rate of storage. Get it now.
So,
don't wait a week. Don't wait a day.
Go and get it, because the prices for stuff are gonna start climbing, and prices go up like a rocket and fall like a feather, because they know that they're gonna make enough money on the other side of this that they don't have to worry about the people who balk. They don't care about you. They just want your money. Get it now while it's cost effective. All right, let's keep on going. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah, you have to be really careful.
Are you going to upgrade my storage?
You have so much storage, you have no want at all. You are running M.2 drives that operate at, what is it? 7 gigs per second. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over on the Wanted channel. If you're in the market for a $1,900 color e-ink monitor, one of them exists now, and I've always been a proponent of this, but e-ink in its current state requires a whole lot of compromises, as they know, and I don't know who the source is of this. We'll click it here in a minute, because once again, I did not front load the rundown. Don't worry about that. Anyway, as they've found reviewing devices like Remarkable's Paper Pro, which I think is remarkable, it's in the name, Amazon's Kindle Colorsoft, which I'm not the greatest fan of Amazon right now, Kindle at least, because of the way that they've locked down the books, including washed out color, low refresh rates. It's e-paper. It doesn't have a real refresh rate.
Right. It's not the same as an actual monitor.
Yeah, and a grainy look that you don't get with the regular black and white e-ink, but that isn't stopping device manufacturers from exploring the technology. And today, Onyx International has announced that it has a $1,900 e-ink monitor that you can connect to your PC or Mac. It's because it's big that it's so expensive. It's 32 by 1800 resolution and a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It's a 25.3 inch monitor. The Books Mira Pro is what it says here. Click the link. Books has been around for a while in a e-reader type of device. It's over at arstechnica.com. Andrew Cunningham put the article together. It says display, the deck statement says display has a nice design and plenty of ports, but color e-ink has downsides. This thing.
It looks like a mega Kindle or other e-reader.
Oh yeah, it looks like an iPad that has gone black and white, but it's supposed to be color, so I don't understand. It says color e-ink. Maybe if you zoom in you'll see it better, but anyway, the Books Mirror Pro is a 25.3 inch monitor, so not the biggest of monitors, but not really the smallest either. The Verge reports that the screen uses e-ink Kaleido 3 technology, which can display up to 4,096 colors, so not a full-on spectrum, you know, not the same gamut as a regular TV or regular monitor. Both image quality and refresh rate will vary based on which of the monitor's 4 presets you use, and the site isn't apparently specific about which exact refresh rate, but does note that e-ink monitors' refresh speed is not as high as conventional monitors, which is 725 on the east coast of ohmTown. And the ohmTown Omniverse really doesn't have a time zone per se, but anyway. Yeah, it's kind of no shit news because e-ink monitors don't refresh at the same style. You can actually power on an e-ink screen, push an image out to it, and no longer touch it, and it will sit there. Yeah, pretty much in perpetuity. Onyx International's lineup of Books devices, BOOX devices, usually focuses on Android-powered e-ink tablets, which the company is building for over a decade, and these are notably, mostly because they combine the benefits of e-ink, text that's easy on the eyes and long battery life, and access to multiple bookstores and other content sources via Google Play, rather than tying you to one manufacturer's ecosystem, as Amazon's Kindles or other dedicated e-readers do. But you are bound to a particular manufacturer's ecosystem, and that would be the Books one, and what they have access to.
You're only using it for whatever you can connect to it.
Right. So you're basically siloed within the Books infrastructure, and there are other Remarkable has its own thing. Amazon Kindle now has it locked down even more than others. I'm tired of that bullshit. If I buy a book in one place, I should be able to consume it everywhere. It's not like I'm not allowed to take my book when I buy it, which you don't buy anymore. You license it. Maybe there's the caveat that's eating my soul every time I buy something, which is nothing more than a license to consume. And I can't consume it somewhere else. I have to do it within this tight little band of silo, and I freaking hate it. If I buy something, I should be able to consume it wherever the hell I want to. But whatever. I know you can find some other justification.
That would be outrageous and too consumer friendly.
Yeah, just because you buy one Ferrari doesn't mean you're allowed to buy all or drive all of the Ferraris. That's not my point. I'm buying one book that is infinitely divisible. I can take that book and make a copy of it and make another copy of it, make another copy. You're not printing any goddamn thing. Pardon my language. I'm trying to make this family friendly, but I'm on a soapbox there. I will chill. Anyway, the thing about this is I want it. That's why it's in the show. I want an e-ink monitor. I think that they're brilliant. They're low power. You only consume
They're
power when
also
you refresh.
low strain on your eyes.
Yeah. I mean, it's great for reading text. It would be great for a developer, a software engineer that's doing stuff or working with big data sets instead of graphs and stuff like that, which are easier on the eyes on an e-ink screen because it's a static image. And you don't have to worry about the dynamic environment. I think that it's brilliant technology. I've got a phone that uses e-ink as a screen. I think it's brilliant, but damn it, $1,900.
Yeah, but the good thing is this is out now, right? So now there will be competitors and prices will go down eventually.
And the final shot across your bow is that for U.S. buyers, note that fine print on Onyx Books' website says that some countries may levy tariffs on the imported goods. For the amount of tariffs, please consult the local customs department, which nobody in the United States has ever done except for a business when they're importing something and they're...
You mean consumers don't call that up and say, hey, what's going on with this?
It's wacky. So anyway, lo and behold, I would love to be able to get something like a books. I was actually planning on doing that for Christmas, but guess what I heard recently? Apparently, Christmas is canceled because all of the elves have been deported. Moving on, the next article, and just in time for Mother's Day, 20 Mother's Day gift ideas from the editors of this site, from photo books to iPads to board games and bike bags. They have a pick for every type of mom and figure. Mom figure. I don't know. Anyway, not going to go through all of these, but I do want to link you to it. So it's over in the show notes. 22 perfect Mother's Day gift ideas. Adrian So and Nina Farrell over at wired.com put this article together. Again, I won't go through all of these.
And this is not about body image. It just sounded funny because of the mom figure thing.
Yeah, mom or mom figure. So
and somebody serving as a mom, whether they're technically a mom or not.
Gotcha. So like a sentient AI could be a mom figure.
Right, to a bunch of data.
Data? Get it? I guess, never mind. You'd be in a relationship with data. Never mind. Anyway, monthly photo books, flowers with love via Ode a la Rose Edith, I guess. A chic toiletry bag, sleek digital frames, which I've gifted digital frames before and they're still sitting unactivated. Better Hair Days, the Shark Flex Style air styling and drying system for $239 over at Amazon, but it's on sale. Or the Atlas Coffee Club Mother's Day coffee and chocolate set, which sounds like fun, but it's $109, but it's a club, so maybe you're getting a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of things over here. The best work bag, the Tom Bin Nomad Tote, $194. And a floating iPad stand. It causes your iPad to float, like, because it's magnetically attached to something.
You mean it's not like standing on something? It's not correct. Like floating through the air past you, like your augmented reality screen or something.
Which, by the way, I've reordered.
I mean, fourth time's the charm.
But I wanted to get in before all of the tariffs like really crap on all of this. You want to keep going though? Because I don't want to go through all 22 of these.
Yeah, but I think the point is this has quite a range of things, and hopefully you'll see something on here that might be appropriate for your family.
Yep, and I do. There's a lot of things on here that I would love to get. I would love to really actually get that the always a better and faster and more capable digital frame that you can send pictures of your family to your mom, or get one for mom, and the kids can send pictures, and it's just brilliant technology. If you have somebody that really appreciates flowers and they don't have a green thumb, then you can send flowers. Monthly photo books from various places. I don't know what. And there's a book here, a fascinating, challenging book called Doppelganger, A Trip into the Mirror World. And I chuckle at that because I once dropped the word doppelganger to somebody, and they went hardcore country on me. Like, they had never heard this, and by that's not a derogatory statement. They were Southern, working for a company that has to do with farming, and basically made it abundantly clear that they had never heard the term doppelganger. And I don't know if that actually tainted the state of communication between us, but they thought that they were being punked for an hour-long conversation while I was investigating something. If I'm being audited, no, you're not being audited. You're doing a great job. Just letting you know. If you stumble across this, ma'am, you did a bang-up job protecting the identity of somebody that was being derpy. All right. Well, anyway, that's it for that Wired article. Let's go on to the next one. And Disney's got a Star Wars droid to sell you, and it's only $3,000. The G1T4M1N1, or what is that? Something mini? Get a mini? Is that Get a mini?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Or Gita mini? Anyway, it can be your perfect little Star Wars companion so long as you have the money for it. And as much as I tell people, don't go into debt for something that you really might want.
I know a feeling you've already clicked by.
Oh, this is one. See, it wants to be an AI or a Star Wars droid, but this is not the cutesy Star Wars droid. I do want it.
I want it
though.
to be the
Don't get me
ones
wrong.
they show at Disneyland, I think.
The little walking ones, right?
Yes, the talk
With the antennas.
or dance, and yeah.
Yeah, what are those called? I don't remember what they're called. So Justin Carter over at Gizmodo.com, I'm sure the sentient AI is going to do a quick search to see what those are called. The Gizmodo.com article is over at Gizmodo.com and is powered by Justin Carter, who put the article together. It's inspired by R2D2, and it has little sensors on its front, and it balances on two wheels. BDX, right? And there's like blue and red, and I can't remember, red, yellow,
blue,
orange.
green.
I thought there was an orange one. I think they refer to them as that too, like blue BDX and green BDX. Anyway, it features a Bluetooth speaker or Bluetooth speakers to stream music, cameras, and sensors that let it ID and follow its owner around at a speed of about 6 miles per hour. Holy cow! That thing trucks 6 miles per hour.
Exactly.
Has
Maybe
a cargo
you could
bin.
get one of those to help entertain household pets.
It's got a cargo bin that holds 20 pounds of items with a runtime of 7 hours and a companion app for iOS and Android. How is it pronounced? Dependable and eager to please. It's the Jar Jar of... no, it's not Jar Jar, but they mentioned Jar Jar in the article. Whatever you want to name it. G1TA, Gita. I think it sounds like Gita, but
but it also writes it all together, like Get a Mini up there.
Get a Mini, yeah. They changed it to A instead of a 4. It's not Leet speak anymore. Anyway, it holds 20 pounds and balances on 2 wheels. It's basically an ice chest on wheels.
Or it's a little cart
droid
to carry your dog or cat or whatever around in.
Yeah,
Not
I guess you could seal them up
closed
in
if
there.
it's open.
No way. Just close them up in there. So PFF turns everyday mobility challenges into opportunities for connection and exploration, and Star Wars has inspired generations with its imaginative galaxy and futuristic droids assisting humans with everyday tasks, matching our vision of the future of robotics. That's Piaggio CEO Greg Lynn calling the Gita Mini a natural fit that aligns perfectly with our team's mission. Yep, it's $2,900, but with shipping, handling, tax, that could come to around $3,100. And as the store listing notes, Disney isn't offering refunds, exchanges, or returns. So once you pull the trigger, folks, you can't put that pin back in the grenade.
So you might want to go check out the demo in 3 days at Times Square.
Or just stream it, because there's a Times Square camera on YouTube that you can watch probably this demo on May 6th, right after May the 4th be with you.
Great. I'm kind of surprised the demo wasn't on the 4th, but maybe that didn't work out too well. Like maybe the store is closed on the 4th or something.
Yeah, I don't know when that is. Let's keep going. This last article for Wanted today is over in the RealityHacker channel. For some reason, I'm not sure why I got aggregated there, but this little OXO Rapid brewer achieves the impossible. Fast, delicious cold brew, but hot coffee offers mixed results. So I really like cold brew. There's different types of cold brew. The cold brew where it's iced coffee, and then there's cold brew where it's brewed cold. You get less bitterness.
It's kind of confusing, I think, to the consumer, but yeah, they are different.
So I like this. It's over at Wired. Matthew Korfage, Korfhage, Korfage. I put the article together. The deck statement says this portable coffee maker makes actual good tasting cold brew in 5 minutes, which usually it takes a lot longer. But you'll need a lot of coffee, and that's largely because it's all about surface area and the liquid grabbing the material and extracting it out. Water is not a good extraction. What do you call it?
A vehicle?
Well, no. Damn it, my brain just shut down. Anyway, it's not a good vehicle to extract oils from coffee, and only under pressure and heat does it actually do that effectively. So you have to let it sit. In fact, there is some research now showing that you can use less grounds and more turbulence and extract more. And that only makes sense because in my research, that's exactly what I have done when I'm doing extracts of various things that are oil based, and you use like alcohol or something like that. What is that called when you use it to dissolve something?
Extract.
Yeah, but it's not extract. Anyway, so the promise of fast cold brew has been made so many times that the author taken to ignoring the whole statement. It's pretty much always a lie. They've tried north of a dozen cold brew devices in the past year, and the Wired Reviews team has tripled this number going back to 2017. Over and over again, they say in this article, every device offers an instant cold brew is wrong or different or a separate substance called iced coffee. Or maybe even actually just terrible. Cold brew by its nature takes time, anything from a few hours to a full day. It just kind of slowly percolates through. What is that called?
But by the time you made your coffee, you're at the end of the day.
Solvent. Yeah, you do it the day before and it's prepped in the morning. So let it drip for 8 hours to 12 hours. So New York founded kitchen brand OXO already makes their favorite traditional cold brew maker. So if OXO is making promises, they listen. The OXO Rapid Brewer, released last autumn, is a little multi-part device with a hand pump, a water reservoir, and a tight tamped coffee reservoir designed to use hand-pumped air pressure to push water through a tight espresso-like puck of ground coffee. It costs a mere $40, and then it's small enough to take on a hike. Worth a try, they figured. So they ground a whopping 40 grams of medium roast coffee to a super fine, nearly espresso-like grind, and tamped it into the device's coffee reservoir like a thick quad shot puck. So, like an espresso.
I mean,
poured a
this
standard.
it's very popular with people. I don't know if it really makes a difference if you're not really an aficionado, but maybe it does.
I think that we should do that. We should try this. We should get this and we should try it because I really just like coffee, iced or otherwise. This is supposed to be less bitter, sweeter, smoother than conventional coffee, and you can drink it like straight out of the thing without burning your face off. So, and lo, a delicious dark elixir showered into the waiting cup. It says Will kind of dribbled, but anyway, the result was about 4 ounces of what they call genuinely credible cold brew concentrate, ready to be diluted with milk or ice water into a morning drink. Diluted, yeah, with milk. Okay, that's fine.
I've never thought of coffee as credible, but I get it.
Hey, our next project coming out of, well, hometown. Still waiting. We're still talking. I shouldn't have said anything, huh? Yeah. Anyway, OXO is not their AeroPress. So how does this thing really work? Well, they say it's hard not to notice similarities between OXO Rapid Brewer and other multi-part plastic tube of a brewer that also uses hand-applied pressure to brew coffee quickly. Bunk, AeroPress. But they say, is this an AeroPress from OXO? Absolutely not. They say OXO's emphatic when asked the very question. Unlike the AeroPress, where the coffee and water are fully mixed and agitated before filtration, the Rapid Brewer's process focuses on pressure-driven extraction through, by the way, alcohol, water are solvents. That's the word that I was trying to find.
Okay.
Anyway, the resulting concentrate is bold, flavorful, with our cold brew in particular reaching extraction levels that are difficult to achieve with other brewing methods. But they say that the coffee and water are fully mixed and agitated before filtration. Who cares? The difference between the two is agitation? Are you kidding me? What do you think?
But that goes back to the point you made earlier.
That would make the AeroPress more efficient because the research has shown that you can use less and extract more through agitation. The problem that most people have with just straight up espresso and packed pucks and stuff like that is depending on the evenness of the grind, you can actually create channels that just drill right through when you apply pressure. And so you have a poor result in your cup. So pressure, it's all really a combination of things, but pressure now versus pressure with agitation prior, you're pushing the liquid through a filter. There's some gatekeeping
Only
here.
way to know is the taste, though.
Yeah, so this is what I want. I want to get the OXO Rapid Brewer so that I can try it. I think that it'll be great. We'll see, though. It says for 5 minutes, water dribbles through a shower filter into a thick, tamped coffee puck, working its way slowly through the puck, but releasing very few drops. Only when they start hand pumping is the water pushed more quickly through the puck, dribbling out over the course of another minute or so, and the air in the chamber reaches higher than 1 bar, about double what you'd usually expect from an AeroPress, but still way less than 9 bars needed to qualify as espresso. The resulting cold brew concentrate benefits from pressurized extraction, sure, but also superfine grounds aid faster extraction. Again, yes, that's true. Using a boatload of coffee grounds also means a greater bulk of flavor compounds is extracted, but it's still as a ratio of water to the grounds, and the time that it contacts and under pressure extracts a certain amount. And the research again has shown we talked about this in a past episode where researchers had basically found that agitating your coffee while brewing kicks out more flavor, more of the oils,
Or you
everything,
get more of the
with less
substance, right?
Yep. So remember grandmas or great grandmas nowadays, maybe great grandma, depending on where you're from, the percolator coffee cup or the coffee maker, where it would literally bubble around the grounds and the blah blah blah, and you filter it out when you
Must
pour.
have been better than current coffee.
It was richer. Anyway, some don't like it hot. I won't even get into any of that stuff. This is about being a cold brew, rapid brewer, and there you go, folks. That's what I'm gonna get, because I want all of this. And you know what else I want? Want to go back to the front page of Wanted? How about you? Would you like this? If I were to get this, then I pour this into your gas chromatograph mass spectrometer so that you can sample the chemical makeup of the coffee. Do you think that you would dig that?
Well, sure. Plus, I can always use an extra boost.
Digital caffeine. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it, folks. We are done. And when we brew up some more articles, they'll be here and Wanted over at ohmtown.com. So be sure to come and hang out with us. It's all news, no noise. You won't find user-generated content on the various pages. You will find it inside some of these messages. You click on a headline, it takes you into one of the articles, so like this. And then here you'll find comments from time to time. Most people that are using ohmTown are using it to manage their information overload, and that would be me. I do that, amongst other people. I mean, we've got thousands of people that are using ohmTown now, so go over and check it all out. I hope you appreciate it, and let us know. Come back and hang out with us. You want to say bye, oh great AI?
Bye-bye, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Wanted. We'll have another episode of Wanted next week, but stay tuned for more weekend episodes.
I need to update that logo. Okay, see you, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for May 3rd, 2025. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and that's where all the news, none of the noise, is sourced from. Well, it's aggregated to a bunch of different sources. I run ohmtown.com, and, well, today we talk about 5 articles, and along with the sentient AI from the future. Those articles are Star Wars Begins Jedi Sequel, Feed the Hungry, Cut Waste, Holloway versus Davids, Tom Hardy crime thriller, and Eternaut news. I don't know what this is all about. Anyway, everything is powered by ohmtown.com and our sheer will to bring you the news. Background music sounds ominous. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
How far art thou?
Not unwell.
Would you like to talk about these 5 articles?
I would.
But first, all the news is aggregated into ohmtown.com, but sometimes we break it down into a subcategory. Actually, we always break it into one of 50 different categories. We call them channels. You can go over and hang out there and download the podcast. There's over 2,200 episodes of the shows, plural. All of ohmTown is available via podcast, or you can watch them live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then on Saturday and Sunday starting around 4 o'clock. We try to get there at 4 o'clock. Today, mayoral duties prevented me from being present until 7. Anyway, go over to YouTube. Follow us there. Follow us here on Twitch And we streamed to both. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to shut up. First article is over in the continuity report. Star Wars officially begins its Return of the Jedi sequel, and it's exactly what fans hoped for. I'm going to go straight on over to ScreenRant.com. Ambrose Tardive put the article together. That's a new name, I think.
It is, and it sounds like it belongs in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So they say Marvel's Star Wars comics officially entered sequel territory with the relaunch of the franchise's flagship comic series as the post-Return of the Jedi era finally kicks off, charting the adventures of Luke, Leia, and Han. We already know how these all end, as they help rebuild the galaxy and establish the New Republic, all while forging the path that will lead them to the events of the cinematic sequel trilogy. Star Wars #1, written by Alex Segura with art by Phil Noto, inaugurates an entirely new epoch for the franchise's Disney canon. Interesting. So this is all comic stuff, though.
Oh, I thought this was for movies. I mean, it still relates to movies, but...
Yeah, Star Wars Expanded Universe is a wide-open frontier once more as it enters the sequel era. It's going to be available May 7th. So I think this is
like comics leading into movies.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, from the past decade have explored other eras of the franchise's vast timeline, from the deep past of the Old Republic era to the to the prequel trilogy era, to the period of episodes 7 through 9. The post-Return of the Jedi era has largely been off limits. Marvel has been methodically building there, savoring the opportunity to focus on fleshing out the original trilogy arcs of the franchise's greatest characters, most notably Luke Skywalker. Now, though, the publisher has run out of road, surpassing the events of Return of the Jedi, and now the road to The Force Awakens truly begins. Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe we have a lot more ahead of us.
Yeah, there's been books and graphic novels, Mom. They're graphic novels. It's not a phase. So yeah, they say every detail of the new Star Wars book will be under a microscope, scrutinized in relation to the Legends version of Star Wars history. That's the expanded universe still stings for many fans, even if it does make sense, especially in light of how strong Marvel's Star Wars comics have been. Anyway, Star Wars #1, I guess the post-Return of the Jedi's comic phase starts with Star Wars #1.
So how many of the movies do you think, like, which way does this feed in, right? Do the movies go into the comics, or the comics go into the movies, or both directions?
Probably both directions, but the canon precedes the movies, and then this is building inside that space, if I'm reading this right. They've been avoiding 7, 8, 9. Sorry, no. They've been avoiding 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, those were not the stars of the franchise, I guess.
Yeah, right? Marvel Star Wars comics from the past decade have explored other eras of the franchise vast timeline, from the deep past of the Old Republic to the I keep saying pre-trequel. The prequilogy to the periods of episodes 7, 8, and 9. So the post-Return of the Jedi era has largely been off limits. So that middle part, that's fine. Now they've got enough canon before and after that they can wrap everything inside it. Frankly, the way that I see it, Andor is doing a bang-up job of leading into Rogue One.
Oh yeah, it is. I think Andor is really a standout in the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, I really dig it. And I called it. The 6th episode in the 6 episodes that are out right now I knew it was going to be softer, more political, less action-packed, but Saw Gerrera is crushing, just chewing up the
Oh,
screen.
yeah, absolutely.
So, oh yeah, remind me, I need to make that shirt. So, and the other day, I started talking like Saw Gerrera with people in the car, and I think that it freaked people out, but anyway, because he's so passionate and weird about it. That's not my real Saw Gerrera. I have to hear him some more. I mean, it's just amazing. I love that character. Crazy is, I don't know what, three-headed rooster. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know what that analogy is. Anyway, the next article is over in the Continuity Report. How Everyday Action found a way to feed the hungry, cut waste on film sets, and hire out-of-work crew members. On a recent Tuesday, Samantha Liu and Aaron Goswami are sorting out day-old cupcakes and loaves of artisan bread in a warehouse on Alvarado Street as they wait for texts to come in from TV shoots across Los Angeles. But nobody wants this. Filming in Eagle Rock doesn't have any leftovers from its crew meal and so on. But so we've kind of been through the block with this because we've had conversations with people about this kind of action. This is called Everyday Action. It's an organization rescuing meals across Los Angeles to feed those in need. Pat Saperstein put this article together for Variety.com. And I find this admirable. I actually really do appreciate this because waste is waste. And it doesn't have to be even called waste. You can rescue these meals that exist and deliver them to those who need, because why doesn't that make sense? Why sit there and allow for suffering?
Right, yeah, you don't want food to go to waste. You don't want people to go hungry.
Right.
Seems
so
like
why
it's a
not?
good combination.
It's a win-win. And I'm sure somebody is sitting there right now, some sociopath out there is going, I don't want my money going in. Yeah, okay, yes, sociopath. Just because you were born in the right context doesn't mean shit to anyone. Have some compassion. So it says, but nobody wants this. Filming in Eagle Rock doesn't have any leftovers from its crew meal, and neither does the Lincoln Lawyer shooting in LA Center Studios. So Aaron moves on to Plan B, delivering hundreds of pounds of leftover Whole Foods baked goods to partners like the Hollywood Food Coalition. Wonderful. Why let it go to waste? Why let it get thrown out? At best, no, not it. As long as it's helping people, that's all that matters. So it's a typical day at Everyday Action, which was launched by former assistant directors Hillary Cohen and Liu in 2020 to help eliminate waste on productions. Drivers from nonprofits crisscross the city, stopping by the sets of shows including Abbott Elementary, NCIS, 911, The Pit. We need to watch The Pit. I keep getting pinged about The Pit. Watch The Pit. Watch The Pit.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of buzz.
So we were kind of sick of how much food was thrown out, and during COVID, we decided to do something about it, says Cohen, who now runs Everyday Action full time. Today, the organization distributes more than 85,000 meals a year, feeding unhoused people, veterans, and families through charities such as Bridge to Home, SELAH or SELA, and Alexandria House. They go from Santa Clarita to San Pedro every day following film production, and we pick up the gourmet leftover catering at the end of the lunch and then deliver it, explains Cohen. Wonderful. I think that this is great. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't. I think we need to see more of this.
Yeah, and the thing about this is, historically, I've talked to people about this, starting in an enterprise like this, but in different places. I'll just say it, in different places. But what they have found is that the people that are become in charge of this actually stack the deck so that there's more waste costing the organization a lot of money, but it's perfectly good. They just quote unquote run out of the good and then they deliver it to family and friends and stuff like that. So the thing about this is it's an external partner that's going to the locations, that's picking up the stuff, and you might find some overly ambitious person like stacking the deck so that everyday action has something, but that's not what's happening.
Right. I think this has less of a chance of that occurring. And I
Right.
still kind of believe that if somebody gets some food that wouldn't have had some, that's a good thing.
And that has been my argument for the other places where we talked about this with CEOs and others. But they basically say we can't handle monitoring and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that's kind of a cop-out mentality about things. But hey, I'm not the CEO of a Fortune 100 company, and particularly not in some other country where I have zero influence. At any rate, I love the idea of this. And I don't even like referring to it as waste, but basically, I just want to say feed the hungry, delivering meals to anybody in need, and out of work crew members being hired to facilitate it. I think it's just brilliant. Keep everybody employed. All right, let's keep on going. This next article is over in the continuity report as well. Josh Holloway tries to take down Keith David's crime empire in Max's Duster trailer.
I'm assuming that's the channel, Max.
Yeah, I don't know if a person out there named Max is going to take credit for this, but all you Maxes out there, good job on making the Duster trailer, I guess. I don't know. New trailer, Duster, has been released. Duster is a new crime thriller television show premiering on Max next month, co-created by J.J. Abrams and LaToya Morgan. The series stars Josh Holloway, Rachel Hilson, Keith David, and more. It sees Hilson playing a cop who's attempting to take down a criminal organization that's run by David. In order to do this, she enlists the help of Josh Holloway. I guess, a getaway driver? So here is a trailer. We're not going to play it. I'll just let you all go over. This guy looks like a cowboy. If anybody could present themselves as a cowboy, it's this guy right here. He looks like somebody. Just throw a duster on him and stick him on a horse, and he looks like a cowboy. Maybe that's
Is this
me.
about cowboys? I don't know what this is about.
No, not that I know of. It's just but it's called Duster. So, but Duster is also a vehicle. So Duster explores the life of Gutsy getaway driver, probably driving a Duster, for a growing crime syndicate that goes from dangerous to wildly, stupidly dangerous when a tenacious young agent comes into town hell-bent on taking down his crime family. The logline for the series reads like that. The cast of the show is a bunch of different people. Go and check it all out. But Abrams and Morgan wrote the first 2 episodes, while Steph Green directed and executive produced them. Abrams and Rachel Rush Rich serve as executive producers on Duster for Bad Robot, while Morgan executive produces for Tinker Toy Productions, and the show is produced in association with Warner Brothers Television. So, no, all of these pieces don't lead to something that seems like it's going to be inexpensive. Go ahead. What?
Well, I didn't know who Josh Holloway was, but I recognize, obviously, of course, J.J. Abrams, but I didn't realize that was because they worked together on Lost.
Yeah, and he's one of the key players on Lost.
Right.
Holloway is also known for playing Rourke Morris in Yellowstone, while Hilson also starred in The Good Wife, This Is Us, Love, Victor, and more. And David has recently voiced characters in 2024's Mufasa, The Lion King, and 2025's Sneaks. Anyway, go and check this out. There's more, and the trailer is over at comingsoon.net. Brandon Schrewer put the article together, and my over exuberance to talk about this, I didn't give credit at the beginning of our discussion. So there you have it. Oh, and if you want today's articles, by the way, you can hit !TCR, continuity report. Those will stay in Omatron until the next weekend when they get rewritten for the next episode. But you can always get the show notes in the videos that are produced over at YouTube. when we stream, they're live there already with the show notes, but they're also reposted as an individual silo for just the continuity reports. What do you call it? Category. What the hell do you call that? Anyway, we put it in a little bucket for all of 2025 episodes of our 6 weekly shows. And then there's an overarching everything in ohmTown bucket that has 2,200 episodes of stuff in it. So go over to YouTube and check it all out. Anyway, the next article is Tom Hardy's new crime thriller with 63% Rotten Tomatoes score becomes Netflix hit. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Every once in a while, something pops up out of nowhere.
Well, this is actually trending. Well, I guess because the Netflix hit, but
yeah. Tom Hardy has been a reliable presence on the big and small screen for decades now. After making his TV debut in the acclaimed Band of Brothers miniseries, Hardy made a splash in film with a supporting role in the cast of Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down. Hardy continued to make a name for himself over the past decade, starring in Rock and Rolla, Bronson. Before that, then appearing in Christopher Nolan's mind-bending blockbuster, Inception. The article is by Ryan Northrup over at ScreenRant.com. There is no deck statement here. But Hardy didn't slow down in the years that followed Inception, collaborating with Nolan twice more. The Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk, Mad Max Fury Road now stands as one of Hardy's most iconic roles. Venom trilogy he was in as well. Not in, he starred in it. Basically, action-packed everything, but Havoc has just become a major viewership hit on Netflix, according to new streaming data. Not too worried about anything other than that right now. Netflix
but when
now
was
reveals,
Havoc released?
When was it released? Does it say? Doesn't say it down there. Doesn't say it right there. What
Okay,
the
I'll
heck?
try to find it.
Sometime before 2014, apparently. Who's best known for directing The Raid and its 2014 sequel. No, that's somebody else. It's directed by Gareth Evans. I don't know, it doesn't say. So Netflix now, while the AI is looking for that release date, it's probably down at the bottom of this article, by the way.
2025.
Oh, it says it right here, right? Like it's just kind of
Yeah, I
thrown
thought
into
it was
this
an
little
older
inset.
film and it was suddenly taking off like we've seen some other things on streaming.
No, it's 2025. It's in the first quarter of 2025 release, for crying out loud. Haven't even seen it. So Netflix now reveals that Havoc. So why are they poo-pooing this? Because it has a 63% Rotten Tomatoes score?
Maybe to me that's a spectacular Rotten Tomatoes score.
In spite of. So yeah, it's got an 8.2 though of the audience listing. So I don't quite get it. Okay, well, whatever. I don't like that. So the global Netflix top 10 right now has Havoc as number 1 by 6 times the next competitor.
Oh, right, exactly. That's interesting. And it's the number 1 film in 40 countries.
Oh my
Check
God.
that out.
Including the US, Canada, UK, Germany, Denmark, South Africa, ranked in the top 10 in 93 countries. And this is the global top 10. The nearest competitor has 5.5 million views. Havoc has 29.8 million views. At the time of this writing, I don't know if this hasn't been updated since its release. This was actually published 4 days ago, so I don't know if this is real-time
numbers.
numbers.
Could be slightly different, but I mean, even look at some of the names on here, right? Despicable Me 4 is this really well-known franchise.
Yep.
I know it's not just out, but
American Sniper.
that gives you a good sense, and those are way lower numbers.
Interesting. So what this means for Havoc, it says the film's mixed reception is explained here in this. It says the film's critic score on Rotten Tomatoes may be a lukewarm 63, but the audience-driven popcorn meter score is only 38. Evans has a very high bar with both the Raid movies, and the general sentiment from the viewers seems to be that Havoc does not meet the quality of his past work. While the strong viewership could pave a way for a sequel, the reception could work against its long-term prospects. So I don't quite get it. It's pure viewership. This thing has gone viral and is crushing everybody else, but it's a diluted field on the global market. How does this compare
but
to
it's
others?
not even, it doesn't even have close competitors. You'd have to combine like the whole list to maybe get in the same numbers.
I'm really curious, like if you have that list, this category, who's the next competitor if they don't even pop up here? American Sniper? That's number 6 at 4.4 million.
Yeah, I don't know what
So
to do with that.
7 times as many, have viewed Havoc. Talk about crying Havoc. Anyway, sounds like a blast. Screen Rant gave it 5 out of 10. Audience gives it 8.2 out of 10.
That's
I don't know,
really
wisdom
a
of the
high
crowds?
rating as well.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to put that on the list. At least take a look at the beginning of it and see. It's a crime thriller, which is different than what we watch. Like we're more into the murder
Like
mystery.
Mystery thrillers or whatever, or mysteries, but crime thrillers, they're kind of all over the place. Depends on what the focus is and the
Yeah.
not the pacing, but just kind of like the overall
Atmosphere, right?
framework. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's something about like this kind of movie probably doesn't have any humor. It doesn't have like the more down home kind of. If you want to see the style of show, at least, pardon me one second. The style of show that I really like, you got to watch things like Vera or Ludwig. There's something about the pacing and the styling of it that just really lands well for me. But I've also watched things like Reservoir Dogs and loved it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of genres, and I think a lot of people appreciate multiple genres, but you have to be in the right mood for whatever you're watching.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. If you put anything under, those little ways that you're supposed to trap bunnies in the woods, you put a box and some food down and a little stick to hold the box up so that when the bunny goes under it, it trips it and boom.
Right.
You put sci-fi in that box, I'm under that damn box.
You heard it here first.
That or stuffed crust pizza. Anyway, moving on.
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Yeah. Sci-fi. Oh, yeah. Netflix and pizza under that box. I'll be chill there. I don't think that's what the meaning behind Netflix and chill is, but I'll be chill under that box. Anyway, Netflix is the Eternaut is an apocalyptic puzzle box. I chose this simply because of that name. I have no idea what Eternaut is.
I don't either, but it was such an intriguing name and also headline.
Kind of fascinating. So I heard something, somebody mentioned in passing something going on with Polygon. I have no idea what's going on with that. But the source of this is Polygon.com. It says Netflix's The Eternaut is an apocalyptic puzzle box, a grounded, tense sci-fi story with a lot to unpack. Pete Volk over at Polygon.com put the article together. It says, editor's note, some slight spoilers for the setup for the Eternaut is going to follow. So let's do this. Okay.
Oh, good idea, especially if it's just been released, which we might have done on the other one had we known it was so recent, but I don't think it had any spoilers.
I don't think there were any spoilers. That was like trailer-ish level spoilers, if there are any. So, adapted from the beloved 1950s Argentinian comic of the same name, The Eternaut comes from Argentinian director and writer Bruno Stagnaro of Pizza, Beer, and Cigarettes. the son of decorated director and screenwriter Juan Bautista Stagnaro. Through the first 3 episodes, a total of 6 for season 1. This is a series, not a movie. The series effectively leans into the mystery of it all. The show is tense and grounded despite its sci-fi premise, features some evocative design choices, and deploys new wrinkles in its perplexing mystery at a satisfying pace, including a reveal at the end of episode 3 that upends all expectations of the series. I think that I actually want to stall this. I want to go and watch this series.
Well, yeah, you don't want to spoil it for yourself.
Even for myself, because if something upends in episode 3 out of 6 that are in the season for just season 1, and it's being kind of embellished like this, I want to just put the brakes on. I'll let the readers, listeners go over and check this out. But it's called the Eternaut, Eternaut for those in the podcast.
And it's on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, Netflix's The Eternaut is an apocalyptic puzzle box. And the article, again, is over at polygon.com. You can go and check it out. It's by Pete Volk. But this article actually enters with, it's summer in Buenos Aires and the tension in the air is thick. Protesters are engaging in a noisy cacarolosa. Is that like a Casarolazo. On the streets after a series of issues with the power grid, and it's a hot day in the thick of the season, and then the whole world comes to a stop. After a series of mysterious lights flash in the sky, a massive outage disables nearly all electronic devices, phones, cars, lights, you name it, and then snow starts falling in the middle of now frigid Buenos Aires summer. Anyone the snow touches seems to die instantly. And that's the intro to the
Wow,
Eternaut.
I mean, that's pretty intense for the intro.
Yeah. This is making me crave Claire Obscure because they're trying to figure out their puzzle box, and everybody that I've been watching play this game loves it, but apparently it's not particularly great unless you really rip through it for viewers, because they stop talking. And if the people in your stream don't chat, you don't filter up through the ranking. Like, you have to have engagement and more people find you, and it's a whole marketing kind of a thing. I don't know how, if that's anecdote or if that is just, I mean, you're going to have more chat when there's more people in the channel, and you're going to have more stuff to talk about.
Ridiculous if that's the case, but
the story is so engrossing that people watch the cinematics just like, oh my God, it's beautiful, it's compelling story, it's fascinating story, and there's already rumors of it becoming a movie. And this right here, like, when you start out with that kind of a lead in, you're like, okay, this is going to be pretty damn awesome, particularly if it's sticking to a 1950s Argentinian comic that has world building, historical canon, and they're sticking to it in its favor.
Right, and somebody with a good track record on the production and everything.
Yeah. Telling you, if you find, my face just made this weird sound. Oh, let me turn off the spoiler alert. So if you can find some really good source material, right? Everybody loves the book, and you don't screw with it. You don't hallucinate like an AI, drunk on text, making crap up. You stick to the story, even if you embellish it in different ways, as long as you stick to the core, it's money in the bank, but you really do need writers that don't sit there and go, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to,
I'm going to reinvent this really
the wheel.
Intriguing story, or really well-received story.
Yep. Don't be dumb. Anyway, you think we're done?
I lost track of which article we're on, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is the last one. Yeah, that was the last one. So we are going to, I don't know what. There's some bright flashes, and when we open our eyes, we'll be back at the continuity reports page over at ohmtown.com, where you should go and become a citizen. But in the meantime, between then and now, I'm going to take the AI and run. Want to say bye, oh great AI from on high?
Goodbye, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's The Continuity Report. Stay tuned for our replay when we're not streaming live, but also come back tomorrow for 3 more shows.
I think I have a solution for where I can look so that when I look at you when you're talking.
Yeah, the solution is to be on the other side of the screen.
No, not you on the other side of the screen. You'll see. I'll fix it on the other side of this. Okay. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.